In the football gods year of 2024, NFL players are telling their agents they would like to be traded to the Washington Commanders. We prayed for times like this. Let's talk about it. Washington Commanders Nation, we prayed for times like this. We now have players begging to be a part of the ecosystem we are building here in DC. Agents are going to line up to sign up for the services to play for Adam Peters, Josh Harris, Dan Quinn, and Jaden Daniels Washington. It is the night before Washington's Week 9 matchup versus the Giants, and we had already heard from Diana Rossini and Jonathan Jones that Washington was actively seeking quarterbacks and wide receivers earlier in the day. And then the league's biggest insider, Adam Schefter, comes out with this tweet. I'll read it word for word. Here's a sentence that hasn't been written or uttered this century since before Daniel Snyder owned an NFL franchise. Players want to wind up in Washington and playing for the Washington Commanders. For far too long, the only way Washington could get in the conversation for a big name player was to drastically overpay. We had to outbid ourselves, overpay, fire up Redskins, won the jet, and do something stupid. We had to throw ass at these players just to even get a meeting with them. A lot of agents did not want to do business with this team, and a lot of quality players wouldn't even consider taking a visit during free agency. Those days are in the rear view. Those days no longer exist. And according to Adam Schefter, per a few league sources, guys are telling their agents, that's the destination. That's where I want to go. Look how fast that shit changes. 2023, we were a 4-win football team who lost for 2 months in a row to close out the season. 8 in a row, 8 losses in a row to close out the season. A year later, Washington has a chance to go 7-2 for the first time since 1996. 96 was the last 7-2 start this team's ever had. I've never seen it since I started watching football. I started watching football around 7 or 8. I was born in 91. So I've never seen this team be 7-2. In one off season number 2 of this new ownership group, we got a general manager and an assistant general manager. We got a complete coaching staff that actually prepares players, gets through to them, and has this team ready to go this week. We got what looks like our franchise quarterback for the next decade plus. And we made a lot of positive transactions in one off season, so much that we significantly increased our floor. We don't know what the ceiling's yet. We're not going to find out what the ceiling is in year one with still so many holes on the roster, but there will be no shortage of players wanting to come to DC, because not only are we poised to make the playoffs, I believe we have an 80% chance at this point with our remaining schedule and based on what we've already accomplished to make it. We're going to go to the playoffs and then roll into the offseason with 9 draft picks, I believe 5 in the top 100, and $121 million in salary cap. We got the moonyon, baby. We got the money to blow. That doesn't mean we need to go on a Vinny Serrato, Dan Snyder type shopping spree and just buy up everything that's available. We have football cognizant individuals running the operation here. So everybody saying, I still need to see more. What more do you need to see? There are actual business-minded, football-minded professionals running the operation now. Stop comparing anything you're seeing to a past Washington team, because this ain't that. This ain't that, and the league is starting to see. Do we know what players were asking? No. Are we assured that Washington's going to make a deal at the deadline? No. But what you do know is Washington is a part of the conversation. Washington has a general manager that will be at worst a nominee for executive of the year in his first year, his rookie year, general managing a football team, and Adam Peters. And guys see the vision. You know, we play teams every week. There's one thing to see teams performing and executing. It's another thing to see a brotherhood, to see a locker room united and not divided. Look at that Eagles locker room last year. They're led by a fucking buffoon in Nick Sirianni, and their roster, they're not all together. There's a lot of me, and a lot of separation. We're in year one. We're just ragtag hodgepodge of players thrown together, trying to figure out synergy and cohesion on a weekly basis. And it's already starting to result in wins. They have formed an identity in 8 weeks. They play for each other. They ride for each other. They work hard together. Culture. You know, the last guy told us it takes 3 to 5 years to instill a culture. It doesn't. It takes 3 to 5 years maybe to make a Super Bowl champion. It does not take 3 to 5 years to instill a culture. There's already culture running through the blood, sweat, and tears of this entire brotherhood we've built here in year one. And we done prayed for times like this, man. We prayed for times like this to shine like this. And I am so excited about what's to come. In 48 hours from now, we're going to be talking about trade deadline, but we got to not play with our food at MetLife Stadium this weekend. So we could talk deadline on Monday, and on Tuesday up until 4 p.m. I might do a live stream where we count down to the deadline. I go live for a couple hours, we count it down, and we react to if Washington does anything. But nothing is promised, nothing is guaranteed. But I can guarantee you this. This ain't the Washington with the stench on them before. Our reputation no longer precedes us. We're not walking around with the scarlet letter A on our chest with people looking at us like we're crazy and attaching everything we do to negativity. And whenever something positive comes out, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. That other shoe not coming no more because we're different. We're different. What did Louis T tell y'all already this season? It feels different because it is different. And it is just that. Man. Players are signing up. Send me to Washington, man. Like, I'm laughing because this is new to me. Like, for some fans, they're going to be like, are y'all really hyped because players want to play for your team? And I'm going to look them dead in their eyes and say, yes. This shit means something to me, man. This shit means something to me. Guys actually want to play for my favorite team. They are asking their agents to ship them there. What do you think is going to happen when we get to free agency in March? When we get to the tampering period of free agency? What do you think is going to happen when superstars that are disgruntled and are trying to work their way out of their organization? What do you think is going to happen? They're looking at the fun we're having over here. They're looking at the brotherhood and the way that the guys are led and follow their coaches, and they want to be a part of that ecosystem because Washington finally has a foundation. The foundation never had a chance because the roof was ass. The top of the house was trash. How was the house supposed to stand up if the top of the house had no support? It's been so bad for so long. This is so exciting. Just wait till free agency. Guys like Javon Holland, T. Higgins, DJ Reed, whatever we feel like is a fit, whoever our guys hit with the commander tag, because remember they told you they're tagging guys as commanders. You know who's a commander? Johnny Newton, Jaden Daniels, Mikey Sandra-Steele, Frankie Louvu. Whoever we hit with that commander's tag when it comes to free agency, Whoever we target to sign for this team, it's going to be like clockwork. We're going to pick and they're going to come and they're not going to leave the building. And we're not going to have to drastically overpay or be in a bidding, pissing competition with ourselves like the last guys and the last guys and the last 25 years of this organization being ran. This shows the seismic shift that this organization is in. And we're not even done with our food for 2024. In a year of evaluation, in a year of let's just figure out what our identity is, we've already figured out what our identity is. We've already figured out that our quarterback is one of them ones, and we already got magic on our side. We're already creating magical moments, and our fan base has been a sleeping giant for so long, finally has developed a home field advantage. 4-0 at home to start the season. We got the Steelers at home next week, but we're not going to look past the Giants tomorrow. We need to handle business and put belt to ass. Then we need to see what we can get done before this deadline on Tuesday. But I'm excited. I just wanted to chime in a little bit because this is exciting to me. Let me know in the comments how it makes you feel. What it makes you feel like. Did it put a battery in your back and get you jolted up and ready to run through a wall when you seen this tweet? Players want to wind up in Washington to play for the Washington Commanders, man. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. I love it here. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Washington Commanders game day. Until next time, it's your boy Rio Robinson. Let's get 7-2. I need it like I need air, baby. Let's go.